Hello there.
SK Storm here with Farming Simulator 19. I've decided to do away with the intro because some people cannot sit through a 5-second intro due to their attention spans being extremely low. So anyway, we're going to be playing Farming Simulator 19. I've played the tutorials and I still have no idea how to play this game right. I select the farm manager mode, but when I watch videos on tips for beginners after recording the video, I should have gone for the farm starter mode, but I guess that a noob going straight for farm manager would make some good content, so here we go. The first thing I do is buy the piece of land that I have been spawned on. I then buy myself a house on my land, because where else will I go to sleep with dead sex workers under my bed? I then buy myself a cheap, shitty, small tractor. I then buy myself a plow, and I don't actually know if I need a plow yet or not. I also buy myself a pink pickup truck to show that I am not insecure about my masculinity. This pickup truck will be nicknamed the Shag Wagon. I walk to the shop to pick up my new vehicles and equipment. I attach the plow to my cheap tractor and take it back home with me to the farm. I then take my Shag Wagon back home with me too. I then proceed to buy a cultivator. I get home with the cultivator and realise that my field has sugar beets grown here already, so I probably should have taken a look at the field before making these questionable financial decisions, which will most likely bankrupt me in the future. I then bought myself a grain silo. I am not exactly sure why I bought the grain silo now, because I only have sugar beets grown here and not any grain whatsoever. My dumbass then starts ploughing the fields. I'm pretty sure that past SK Storm didn't exactly understand most of the tutorial. The much more experienced Farming Simulator players are probably on the verge of burning down the village for my stupidity here. I mean, if they are watching, that is, but I assume no experienced Farming Sim players are actually watching. But yeah, this is pretty stupid looking back on it now. Then my dumbass starts cultivating on the sugar beets. What the hell was past me even doing here? Seriously, what was I doing here? I then purchased some beet technology, which also ended up being a bad financial decision looking back at it now. I will definitely be going bankrupt soon. I sold the big piece of beet technology and I obviously sell it for less than how much I actually bought it for. I then buy the cutter that I need before I can harvest the sugar beets. I also sell my cheap small tractor and buy myself a cheap medium tractor instead. Upgrades people, upgrades. I try to be efficient by using both these pieces of equipment at the same time, but I guess that's too much weight for my tractor to handle because my tractor will not move at all with both pieces of equipment activated. Well, it would move, but just extremely slow to the point that Joe Biden will finally be able to put together a sentence correctly in the time that it takes for me to finish harvesting this sugar beet field with both pieces of equipment activated. I am finally doing something right for once in my life. I am learning about agriculture instead of committing war crimes in primarily third world countries. This takes me a very long time to do, but I managed to get through it in the end. Giving up on something is much worse than defeat or failure. I then start harvesting the sugar beets, and as expected, this takes a lot of time, just like it does in real life. This game requires a lot of patience, and I understand why some people might have a negative view on it, but this game is just what you make of it. If you enjoy relaxing and living your dream life in your video game, being a farmer tending to their crops, then this game is for you. I sell some of the sugar beets that I have harvested and sell them for just almost 6 grand, which causes a huge rush of disappointment within me. All that hard work, harvesting just for 6 grand. We definitely need to grow some better crops. Once we're done harvesting all these sugar beets, I then decide to take a contract to harvest some crops, but then I made a mistake by not checking the location of the harvest before accepting the contract, because it's all the way up in the hills up north. I of course borrowed the harvesting equipment. Imagine how weird it would be if Farming Simulator just blows up my channel. I'm not good at this game at all, which would be even weirder. This is quite literally just peak gaming content right here. I hope that anyone watching this video enjoys watching me be a terrible farmer. I then unload the barley at the docks for the job. I go back and finish what's left of the barley field to harvest, and then I unload the remaining amount of barley at the docks. I get a nice 6.5 grand for the job, but the farmer that I did the job for probably got much more than me. I love capitalism. So anyway, I go back and finish harvesting the sugar beets on my farm. I then sell my sugar beets at the docks because they offer the highest price for sugar beets, and I bag myself almost 9 grand for the sugar beets. I buy myself a fancy cultivator that also plants seeds as you cultivate. I then struggle a little bit with delivering the seeds back to my farm because these forklift controls are really weird. Also, I should note that I am not forklift certified, so I think this might be illegal. I then start cultivating the entire field whilst planting canola seeds at the same time. I then buy a chainsaw so that I can start deforesting the small forest field nearby, and also to start a chainsaw massacre later on some civilians. I chop down the tree into smaller pieces so that I can stick it in the back of the shag wagon. I then make yet another terrible financial decision, which is to lease a wood chipper when I could have just sold the wood that I just cut to the sawmill, but I found that out too late when I actually came to deliver the wood chips. I then go home and watch some quality gaming content. Hello there, SK Storm here with Hitman 2. If you are a danger to society, please like this video. That's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching me absolutely suck at farming. Please smash that like and subscribe button like you're a deadbeat dad beating his wife and kids.